Cardiff, outside the New Theatre, where I'm playing Sam Wood in Benidorm live. And here's come, but the coolest Lady Lux fan ever, probably the only one. Possibly. And come to meet me, and we've had a few pictures taken, and I got to meet her. How witched does she look? Super witch.
What was it like being both BB and Lux?
It was pretty funny sometimes when we did those episodes in the sound back. Well, one minute I was talking to Lady Lux, and then next I feel like BB. But it was a really fun time. We used to record it in Ireland, and my brother was in the show. He also played Kurt, and I think he played a few other characters as well. Sal and Salou, and we had a ball. We must have recorded for over a year, just flying out now and again. And obviously Mag's genius music, and I don't know why it wasn't more successful, because it was pretty awesome.
I think it was just before its time.
Yeah.
3D animation wasn't really a popular thing when it was out, and now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you do any singing for BB?
I did do singing for BB, but I sang for Lux. I did like Kiss My Bass and stuff. Magnus obviously knows lots of fantastic musicians with some of the other voices. I know Marcel sang to his character for free. Kiss my bass if you want it, sometimes when I can't remember the words. I can't remember that, but I'll have to.
Why didn't they put the Mantis songs out when they did Freefonix? Do you know why?
That's one for Magnus. We'll have to ask him that.
Why couldn't they give us a full Kiss My Bass? I had to like chop pieces together.
We'll have to beg Mark Magnus to send you a copy.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube. Today I'm with Shelley Longworth, who was BB and Lux in Freefonix.
And I had the privilege of meeting you in Cardiff a couple of weeks back when
As
I was
Lux.
as Lux, blew me away. And here we are at the new Wimbledon Theatre, and I've got a show again tonight, and we're here in Wimbledon. You said you'd come along and see me, and you'd come as BB. So I'm pretty impressed. She's knocked this up in about 3 weeks.
These two are from Lara, who's Silvolf on YouTube. She also dresses as Kurt. She asked, what was the funniest moment voice acting on Freefonix?
Oh, well, we had quite a few funny moments. Some of the funniest moments were probably between my brother, because obviously my brother played Kurt and a few of the other characters. He was Box, which was really awesome. But you can imagine was like doing our thing, and then suddenly he'd be like, that was really what are you doing? Because he's my brother, he could just come out with stuff like that he would never do with another actor if you didn't know them. So we had this sort of sibling, sometimes like people would just crack up because we would just be like brother and sister spats halfway through. Yeah, well, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So that was quite funny.
Because of that though, did it make the Lux and Kurt's fights more natural?
Natural, yeah, definitely.
The next one, she says, did you and your brother have a laugh behind the scenes, but you literally just answered
we did,
it.
and it was really cool because we recorded it in Ireland, so it was a bit of a jolly as well because we'd have to spend the night, and they put us up in this really cool hotel, the Connemara Coastal Hotel I think it was called. So we'd be there eating loads of like Irish stews and going into Galway for like some of the music. There's a really nice sort of, music scene there in Galway, to be in the Irish pub. So we always, all of us had a bit of a laugh after work, so that was always a bonus.
The next one is from the girl who calls herself BB because of the show. She asked, was there like an audition process?
No, there was an audition process, yeah. Dan, who was the director, I'd done some animation with him before vocally, and my brother I think had worked with Dan before. So I think he put some names in the pot and suggested people to Magnus, but Magnus Fines was there, so he was a creator, and we went through an audition process, and we got it! Yay!
Aside obviously your brother, do you keep in contact with any of the other voice actors or anyone?
Yeah, I'm still like Facebook friends with Zaloof. She lives out in Ireland. She obviously played
Maya. She follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, she's really nice. And we've seen each other now and again. Same as Marcel, he's invited me to gigs before. He does lots of music, so I've seen a couple of his gigs. But it's been a while now. I mean, I've had 2 children, and they've been keeping me very busy. I have 2 boys who are 3 and 6. So you can imagine suddenly, your time is, sort of doing mummy duties.
Adding to that, because that's a new question just come out now. Have you shown your kids Freefonix?
They've seen some clips, yeah. They saw me do, because I was putting a show reel together, and I was obviously taking clips from my website, and I picked one of the Lady Luck singing Kiss My Bass, and my kids were like, oh, what's that, that's so cool. I think, yeah, I'm playing that one. I showed them a bit of BB, so yeah.
That's amazing.
So roughly how long did it take to film each episode, like the voice acting side of it?
From memory, it felt like it was a good year. It felt like we went out there once a month, and they're half-an-hour reps.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if we did 50 or 28, or I can't remember. It felt like we used to did we do 2 a day, or did we have to nail 8? In a month, because we used to do either 2 or 4 a day, and we used to get there, go straight to work, spend the night, and we'd pick up a few the next day, and then we'd fly back. So I can't remember now. I can't remember how many episodes it was. So it might have been 28 eps.
Yeah,
So maybe it was just we were doing 4 a month when we'd go. But it was great because it was like over a period of time. It'd be like, oh yeah, we've got Freefonix again in Ireland, and it's such a laugh.
Mini holidays.
Yeah, did this job with some really cool people. And Jules de Jong, I've seen her as well. She played
Mo.
Yeah, Mo, and lots of other characters. She's super talented. She's lovely. Yeah. So I've seen her as well. I saw her because I did some stuff on Octonauts as well. I wasn't like one of the main Octonauts, although I am Captain, whatever he's called, the polar bear. I'm one of his nephews, so I'm a baby nephew polar bear. So they'd get me back whenever that polar bear's needed. But I've played like leafy sea creatures, I've been an otter, I've been a boa constrictor. They call me in and we need some extra sort of animals. So I've done, and Jules is obviously in Octonauts, who plays Mo. Auditions as well. You tend to sort of bump into people now and again, going up for the same thing.
I never really understood the process of like voice acting. I always just assumed you would all film like separately, and then you just collate it together. But were you sometimes like in a group?
Yeah, we were lucky with this job. We were all together. When I did Noddy, we were all together. And it makes such a difference. When I did Messi Goes to Okido, I played Felix in that, and that was the 4 of us together. And it's down to budgets and studios, and if the studios can house us, I mean that was quite a big cast. We'd all be in this room in Galway, and we were all together. So you're all mic'd up, and you are performing in a much nicer way than if you've got the feed line from the producer, which I've had before, where you're not together. And the director will literally be going, feeding you the line in if you need it, and then you just got to say your lines, and you get through it. But I don't think it ever feels. I mean, it's still. I think sometimes the product is the same at the end. I don't think listening to it you go, ooh, that's not very good. But I think for the actual artists, it's really much more fun to. Be able to bounce off each other.
Especially when you're doing both Lux and BB.
Yeah.
I've seen
And also with the director on Messi Goes to Okido, she quite likes some of the ad-libs that might come out of it, and sometimes they get used, like especially once you've done the scene, maybe there's a few extra lines at the end someone comes in with, or and then you get that because we're bouncing off each other, so there's little nuggets of gold along the way. But then also I've done stuff where it's dubbed from it's already an existing cartoon, a French cartoon, and then that's quite hard because you have to sit there and the English doesn't quite fit, and you have to sort of change the script, going, no, we're going to have to say it like this to make the mouth work, which can be quite time consuming.
What kind of work do you prefer then? Like theatre is something that I didn't know you did. But
Well, I did theatre when I first left drama college, very little, but I did a big tour. And then I have done comedy, sort of improvisational comedy in cabaret venues like at Ealing, stuff with my brother, but it wasn't like a big tour. I then went and did more TV, and then I've now come back to doing the theatre on this, which has been a great experience. But I think I'm still, TV is in my heart more, I think. Well, also, this is a very long tour. You know, maybe if you did a play for 6 weeks, this has been 9 months. It's an awful long time to be on the road and doing it. I think as well because I have a family. Maybe if I was, you know, in my 20s and I didn't have those sort of commitments, it's like, yeah, you're just on the road. But I think this has been a bit harder for me just because of that. Family, it doesn't work. Like when I was filming in Spain, I got to take my kids out with me because they could go to school then, we were based there. And you know, telly, I guess, it's repetitious when you're on set a bit to get that first scene done because they do close-up shots, wide shots, singles, you know, all these different shots to get it, and then they do that for you, everyone has that turn. But then that scene's done and you move on and there's another one, and I guess you also have the opportunity to say, cut, can we do that again? It wasn't very good, whereas you don't have the pleasure of doing that on stage. So there is an amazing sort of, ooh, you know, here we go. And yeah, you get used to it and you do it more and more and more, and it's muscle memory and the words go in. But I guess, but there's also a joy to that, to get the response from a crowd instantly. And with Benidorm, we didn't know just how much the fans loved it, because you don't hear the laughter when it's on TV. But coming out on stage, suddenly to hear the appreciation of the fans who've been watching this TV show and actually how much they like the characters, it's been absolutely fantastic to hear them all cheering. And you know, that's a lovely thing about live theatre.
So the internal scenes in Benidorm, was it a set or was it an actual hotel?
Swimming pool's in a hotel, and we take over the first floor of that hotel. They're all our dressing rooms and the sort of offices. But then there was a pink house, it was called, which had a set for Blow and Go, the reception, Joyce's office, and then the hotel rooms were apartments, also in Spain, and then I guess all the sort of exteriors of the beach, and that's really in Benidorm. So we shot everything out there. Oh, Neptune's exist. It's actually called Morgan's Tavern, and it is an actual bar which they let us film in the day. We have to be out at 6 o'clock on the days we shoot in there because it does become a live bar at night, and you do get a lot of the acts that are on the show performing in Neptune's. Darren Litton, the creator, is really good. He sort of goes around when he's out there and sort of will see a tribute act and go, that's really cool, I want them in the show in Neptune. So, you know, he's taken cabaret singers and, you know, Pete Loaf, who's a Meatloaf impersonator, and he'll stick him in the show. And so it really is a lot of what happens in Benidorm becomes part of the show.
That's amazing.
Which is really good.
Was the show, do you know, is it like a motion captured one, or was it all just freely animated? Like, did you have to like do the face for BB and...
No, there wasn't any of that. I guess the animators at least had the voice to go off. So then they did like an animatic, pencil sort of animatic to go with what we'd recorded, and then from there they painted it and animated it.
Did you get to see a lot of the process of that?
They did, they'd bring in sort of the first animatic, or they'd show us, wow, we've got the first, you know, well, even when we turned up to the auditions, you know, they had drawings of how they envisaged the characters with a little bit of this is BB, this is what she likes, this is, you know, how we see her, this is Vox, this is, and then as it went on, they always gave us, you know, yeah, we've got the first ever animation, it's actually done, or, you know, it's not graded yet, but it's nearly there, so they, you know, which was always exciting to see when you've been working on it.
Would you want them to bring back Freefonix?
Yeah. No, definitely. I just think it, didn't have a chance to...
It was way before its time.
Yeah.
because I think.
And the music was fantastic.
Yeah, I know, and like I think that's what drew like some of the older fans in as well. Oh, do you prefer Lux or BB?
I think Lux.
Yes! Same.
Lux is really cool. Lux is cool. Yeah, she was. Yeah, I liked her. And you look fantastic. So cool.
And that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye. We love Freefonix.
Anyway, it's been totally wicked, man. Freefonix in now. Wow.
Hello, come in.